U.S. government has a declassified document of where they're actively searching for Noah's Ark.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, wasn't it discovered or something last year? Like
Yeah, supposedly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not last. It was a couple of years ago.
Okay.
In Turkey, right? Or
on
where?
top
Yeah.
where the divot is on top of the mountain.
Yeah, on Mount Ararat,
They had
I
two
believe.
turkeys
Ararat.
Ararat.
on the ark.
But yeah, this document says from 1974 to 1982, apparently a general used a U-2 spy plane to photograph Mount Ararat. And they had these pictures, and they said that the proof was inconclusive. But then all these people in this document, it talks about all these scientists and stuff like asking to declassify the photos.
Yeah.
And they refused to. Like even, I think to this day, they still refuse to declassify the photos of, but now you can pull up images all over. But the U-2 plane, spy plane, they were like, yeah, you're not allowed to get those photos. But just know that it's inconclusive. Like, we don't think it was Noah's Ark.
Then release the photos.
And they're like, okay, well, can we just look then? No.
No, you can't.
Sorry.
So it's the same region that recently-ish got talked about.
Yeah.
Did you see the stones? Now this goes back to
the anchor stones.
Yeah, Kent Hovind. When I was like in middle school, he does like Dr. Dinoland or whatever it's called, Pensacola. Shout out to all the homeschooled kids in Florida. That was like a field trip that everyone went on. But yeah, he did a whole write up. So it was like early 2000s. He was going around talking about it. But they have those like, I mean, the size of this room, almost monolithic stones that are perfectly bored out. Again, they're like, we don't know how they did that with chisels.
Yeah.
But
they're
the
those
whole
anchor stones.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen those?
I don't think so.
They're actually all over Florida. People use them as landscaping.
Especially
anchor
in like
stones.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're
beachy
talking
towns.
about. Kind of like you're talking about like they look like monoliths a little bit, like shorters.
So the whole thing, it's the whole point. It's a counterweight. So Noah's Ark didn't need to go anywhere. It just needed to float and to be stable. And so they would hang these stones off the side of a large ship as a way of keeping it level and stable.
amazing.
Yeah, so like that. Those are like old ancient anchor stones
No way.
that people literally just plop in their front yard.
That's awesome.
Isn't that crazy?
That's seriously nuts. I had no idea.
There's even a
Yeah.
theory on Noah's Ark that the center had like a well so that air as it would go up and down would ventilate. And so when you look at the top of that mountain, how there's a divot, they assume that that would be how it like imploded with a hole in the middle.
Dude, if we believe in like the Watcher's technology and stuff,
Yeah.
Noah probably built the Ark based off of some like pretty technologically advanced stuff.
I mean,
That's interesting to think about. I mean, it would
know?
make sense. Golly.
If you were to house all these animals
Yeah.
and human life for how long was it?
40 days.
Well, it was raining for 40 days, but they're on there for like
so
9 months
got
or
it.
something.
Yeah, something like that.
I
That's
mean,
a
long
year,
enough
yeah.
for plant life to come back.
Yeah. And it's like you had to have some sort of system,
Mm-hmm.
like really advanced system. Like, because if you think of like, if you go back to like, I don't know, the Dark Ages, like, okay, build a really big boat that can house thousands of animals in human life for 9 months.
Yeah.
They would not be able to do that.
No,
I would love to know how
that
many
makes sense though. Yeah.
how many like because species versus kind. I want to know how many were there like in the time that's elapsed since
Yeah.
the Ark, 4,000 ish plus. No, way more. Whatever. How many like what could become a cat, what could become a
Yeah.
lion, like what's the smallest denominator you get to, and how far back would that take?
Yeah, exactly.
Also, how do you crossbreed like a wolf to end up with a chihuahua?
Oh gosh,
Like, what do you have to do?
I don't think
I'm
that's
sure
know
there's
what I'm
a
saying?
squirrel involved in there somewhere.